Given the channel's recent neglect of Spider-Man cartoons, this video explores a neglected Spider-Man cartoon, namely 1999's Spider-Man Unlimited, in which the web-head must rescue J. Jonah Jameson's astronaut son from a dystopian alternate dimension governed by anthro-animals under whom poverty-stricken humans are oppressed in order to cancel the bounty placed on him. It's a tale as old as time. As the description suggests, the premise is ambitiously imaginative, resulting in unique character concepts, overbearing cyberpunk-influenced world building, inviting dark and gripping storytelling. This approach introduces positives in that it showcases ideas rarely, if ever, shown in Spider-Man adaptations, before or since, therefore justifying the show's production so soon after a celebrated Spider-Man cartoon, but also invites negatives in that certain key areas of the Spider-Man mythos appeal are absent or underexplored. Ironically, the presence of common Spider-Man qualities are limited. Also, deliberate distancing from Spider-Man the Animated Series is called into question once the pilot begins playing samples of the animated series' theme song. You know the one, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. You know? It's a good job I used an audio sample rather than attempting to sing it myself. A clear virtue of the show is its visuals, with vivid colours, rich shading, boldly shaped and detailed scenery, alongside distinctive character designs, invoking the era's comic book art with extreme success. The voice acting is typically serviceable and meets the general standard of Marvel shows during the era. Rino Romano's well suited to the lead role, channeling Peter Parker's misfortune-based frustration and Spider-Man's confident sarcasm. Romano also voices the heroic parallel universe version of the Green Goblin, who at one point claims it's not easy being green, a phrase that only exists thanks to Kermit the Frog, implying the Muppets still exist in this parallel world. As do presumably Frosties, because a character understands Spider-Man's Tony the Tiger reference. What gives the oppressed, poverty-stricken, hunted humans of Counter-Earth the right to feel depressed? Frosties and the Muppets are apparently accessible in their world. Surely that outweighs their hardships, since both of those things are great. Since the show's title features the word unlimited, it was naturally cancelled after 13 episodes with numerous chief plot points remaining unresolved. By comparison to certain other pieces of major Spidey media, it seems an inferior Spider-Man, especially when compared to the superior Spider-Man. It fails to match the high quality of the aforementioned animated series, or the spectacular Spider-Man, or indeed the new animated series, although it's only marginally short of matching the last named show. However, it succeeds as an entertaining show generally. The scale setting and overarching narrative is refreshing. It's possible the production team were concerned with being over-compared to the animated series, so decided to actively differ from it, as opposed to desperately attempting to better it. A dignified decision with mostly pleasing results. Besides the few traditional Spider-Man or Marvel elements that do appear, such as the prominence of Venom and Carnage, cameos from MJ, J. Jonah Jameson, Nick Fury, and mention of Reed Richards, add a welcome familiarity. Other than its deviation from formula, which can feel disconnecting, its inclusion of extraterrestrial concepts is alienating. The technical flaws such as occasional melodramatic voice acting or artificially expositional dialogue are problems occasionally apparent even in the greatest of 90s Marvel cartoons. One of its problematic elements are some underwritten or uninteresting characters, a disappointment in a Spider-Man show, given Spidey media typically boasts a colourful cast, whose absence is necessitated by the setting. Recommended to fans of superhero animation who were advised to accept the changes from formula in order to judge the show on individual merit. Regardless of the fact it's a lesser work than some of the more celebrated Marvel or Spider-Man cartoons, Spider-Man Unlimited is a strong offering and readily available on Disney+. Thanks for watching, and if I don't see you next time, you may well be trapped on Counter-Earth, which is not ideal, but at least you've got access to Muppets and Frosties. Disclaimer, this video wasn't sponsored by the Muppets or Frosties, but if you happen to be interested, I will be in touch. It's not easy being great. They're gonna taste great. I can hear the sound of Frosties hitting my plate. You don't use a plate for Frosties, you use a bowl. Or some other crockery like that.